During almost every disaster, the same strange thing happens. People panic buy certain items from the shelves, and then when you go out to buy those things, even if it's only within a few hours in some areas, those things are gone and you just can't get them. So today I'm going to tell you the top 10 things that people panic buy that you might want to prepare for now so that you aren't left without those items in case a disaster does hit. The first item that is gone is bottled water of all sizes, big and small, tiny water bottles, big water bottles, the jugs, whatever they have. People go for that first. And I remember seeing this during COVID. Everything was just being loaded up onto the carts and pushed out of the stores like Costco and the grocery stores. So that's your first item. The second item, we all remember, it was toilet paper. And I remember myself, I remember seeing pictures on Facebook of all the people buying toilet paper, and then I went and bought toilet paper really quickly once I saw that. And then within a couple of hours, people were online saying how they couldn't find toilet paper anywhere. And then I ended up even taking toilet paper to some of my neighbors because I had extra. So toilet paper is one of those items that people panic buy, and we all get it. None of us want to be without toilet paper. So it's just one of those things that you want to have plenty of backup on hand. And I do now. Ever since COVID happened, I always have a few months of toilet paper. So I never have to run out and buy a ton of toilet paper if there's some problem going on. And I recommend that for you too. One thing that we really couldn't find either during that time was bread. And then everybody was trying to make their own bread. So the stores ran out of bread so fast. I don't even know what people did with all that bread, but you couldn't find bread. So you either have to have bread or you have to have the ability to make bread. So get whatever items you need for that, whether that be the yeast or your sourdough starters and flour and a little bit of salt and sugar. All those items to make bread are things that you could pretty much have on hand, and so you really want to keep those around. The next item that disappeared off the shelves so quickly, and this really matters, especially if you have small kids, is milk. And maybe all the variations of milk that are out there these days. Almond milk, soy milk, oat milk, whatever milk you want. Cow's milk. Just have your milk available, because I know for those moms out there who have little kids, if you don't have your milk, you're going to be sorry. It's going to be a big pain in the butt. So make sure you have your milk. It's also great to have that milk for certain types of baking. Maybe if you don't want to have a lot of milk on hand, you can get powdered milk. That'll help. You can use that in place of regular milk for your baking, and that is something you can store for quite a long time. The next thing that will be out are batteries. All types of batteries for flashlights, for backup lanterns, and things like that. Just all sizes of batteries and every type of battery. Those will be in demand, especially if the electricity goes out, and a lot of the things you have might only run on batteries if you don't have electricity. So people tend to stock up on those. Your most common types, especially, probably the Ds and the Cs, especially. Now we have a lot more things that are LED type battery things, or you could recharge them. But if your rechargers don't work, so you want to get some of those probably battery charger things as well. That's kind of a newer type that you would want to have, and just make sure they're all charged or have a way to charge them. The next thing you're going to need are flashlights, and along with flashlights, I would put lanterns and just things to light up your house, because if the electricity is out, it's going to be dark, and you're going to need a way to light up your house so that you can get around without knocking into things, and maybe even put together a meal. So don't just have one lantern or one flashlight. Like, you need several. You need to have them all around your house, and enough for probably almost every room in your house, and get some that are stronger that will really light up a room. And when the power is out, those come in so handy. I've used ours so many times. They're great. If you want to have a type that is not battery powered to be even more disaster ready, you can get the kind that have like a little hand crank on them, so that if they go out, you hand crank it, and then that'll get the light going again. So that is a great backup type of lantern to have. The next thing people panic buy is canned food of all types, canned meats especially. If the power is out for any length of time, you're going to need canned food. You could do canning yourself if you're a canner, but if you don't want to do it yourself, you can buy canned meat, canned veggies, canned starchy things like potatoes and carrots and things like that, all types of canned food. That is just a great thing to have anyway for emergency preparedness, but they're going to be really going through this fast because canned food for the most part are things that are kind of pre-cooked. You could eat them right out of the can. So people are going to be looking for that kind of stuff. The next item you should make sure you always have in your vehicles is gas. Now, this is something I would just say in general, you should always have your tanks at least half full. You don't ever want to be on the empty on all your cars and then have there be an emergency, because it'll be very difficult for you to get gas and all the gas will be gone because everybody's going to gas up their cars and it'll all be gone and there'll be none left. Or you're going to wait in crazy lines and the prices will be marked way up. So if you could just get in the habit of kind of always having your gas tank above half a tank, when you get down to half a tank, go fill it back up. You'll be in much better shape than if you didn't do that. If you have a way to store it and keep it around your house, then that is also a great idea. The next thing that will be gone if there is panic buying are generators. All types of generators. If there is an emergency, people rush to go buy generators and the stores just don't stock enough for an actual emergency. You need to buy a generator for an emergency before the emergency happens. And that is just the way it is. There just won't be enough generators out there if you need one. And like we already have ours, it's a solar generator. We can pretty much keep most of our house going and then recharge with our solar panels. I highly suggest something like that, but get the biggest batteries or generators. Get the biggest ones you can store and you can afford. The kind we had, you can even add extra packs to it. It's a big kind of Jackeria one, and you can add more panels, more solar panels, and you can add more packs to it. So over time, if I want to buy one that'll kind of keep more of my house going, I can do that. I can link that one in the description if you want to see what it is. It's really handy. We actually used it not too long ago when we had a power outage, and it was great. We could keep our refrigerator going, even for a small emergency like power outages, which this country has had a ton of this winter, a ton. It just keeps your food from going bad. That's the best. I hate to see a whole refrigerator or freezer full of food going bad just because I can't get a generator. The next one is baby supplies, especially things like diapers and just whatever food your baby might need, or medicines, or just the stuff your baby needs. Like, I can't imagine having a baby and not having all the things that I need for the baby. That would just be really difficult. So just make sure you're always stocked up on your baby stuff. Never let it get down to where you only have like a handful of diapers left or a handful of whatever their food is left. Like, make sure you always have at least a week or two of their supplies. At least, bare minimum. Just never let it get down too low if you can help it. Because that panic buying, that stuff, that all the formula will be gone, all the baby stuff will be gone. And we've seen that happen. One of the most important lessons I have learned from past panic buying situations is that by the time there's an emergency, it's too late to prepare easily. Like, that stuff is gone. So whatever you need to get it ahead of time and just anticipate the possibility of some kind of emergency or disaster happening where people are going to panic buy. And this is easy to do. These things aren't too expensive. You can buy them sort of little by little, just a little extra every time you go to the store, and then eventually you just have a backup, and it's not a big deal. So if you found this helpful, I'd love it if you'd like, subscribe, and share. And please let us know in the comments if there's something that you saw people panic buying during an emergency or a weather disaster in your area that you were unable to get a hold of easily. I would love to hear about it. We'd all love to hear about it. It would be a huge help. So thanks, and stick around for my next video. Hey, if you enjoyed that video, I thought you might like to check out this video next. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you next time.